Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Gold Cup Day at Cheltenham, Friday the 15th of March. Well, we had one place yesterday. We had some that weren't too far away from the places, ran much better. However, still easily a losing day. I've got 6 horses for you. I'm having them in a 10 pence each way, lucky 63. But what I'm doing is, I'm doing what I normally do is, I'm having a 5 pence each way, lucky 63, and I'm taking all the prices. And then placing the bet again, I'm having a 5 pence each way, lucky 63, and I'm leaving all the prices. So let me get into it. So the first selection is Zenta. In the 10 past 2 at Cheltenham, the Candy Hurdle, paying 7 places instead of 4. This horse ran very well last time it ran at Cheltenham. I believe it placed behind Lossymouth. Ran a cracking race, travelled very well all the way round. In its last race, it travelled very well. Went to the front, but couldn't quite hold on. But it's not a bad thing because it's actually more of a backable price because of it. And there were several that ran in the race that run in this race at Cheltenham that ran in Zenta's last race. And I think Zenta, if there was a bit of work still to do with Zenta, hopefully it should come on for the run. It's got previous course form. I think it's got a cracking chance. And what I do think is, several days it's been like the William Mullins show, then it was a Dan Skelton show. I actually believe it could be the JP McManus show on Friday. I haven't gone for all his horses, but I have gone for about 3 or 4 of them, and this is one of them. The next selection is Ethical Diamond. At 16 to 1 in the 130 at Cheltenham, and that's a money back special, but I won't really qualify for it because I've just added it to my lucky 63. So this horse, it ran in the same race as several others in this race about 41 days ago. This horse it had run once previously over hurdles, really disappointed after progressing on the flat with every run. Well, it got a racing post rating of 95. It was instead of being allowed to, I think it was run prominent or lead like it did its first run, it was held up last. And this horse was travelling pretty well. It didn't jump that well. But what I did see is every time it lost a bit of ground jumping, it caught it up on the flat. And this horse was probably finishing about the best horse in the race. Finishing the best in the race. It was just behind the lead. It's probably beating about 6 or 7 lengths in the end. But I think if some of the principals in this race could slip up or underperform, this horse has got a chance. It has shortened in price from its original price, but 16 to 1 is still interesting. Unfortunately, it's only first 3, so it is a bit risky. The third selection is Johnnywho at 10 to 1 in the 250 at Cheltenham, paying 5 places instead of 3. This horse is another one that has got a bit to find on form. And there are a lot in the race that will improve up to this 3 miles. However, there are question marks over horses over this trip still. I think this horse is crying out for 3 mile. Don't get me wrong, it does say in the read up that it wants 3 mile. And looking into it, yes, it does. It ran in a slow race behind, I can't remember what it's called now, like Gidley House or something like that. The second favourite, I think it is. It was outpaced when push comes to shove over the course. It was over 2.5 mile. It's 3 mile this time round. It absolutely hiked up at Carlisle and looked like a decent horse. I think there's more to come. It's JP McManus owned, and I think given a true pace, it's got a decent chance. The next selection is Nasal Lam at 25 to 1 in the 330 at Cheltenham, paying 4 places instead of 3. There isn't that much pace in this race. There could be on the day because it's the Gold Cup, but there isn't loads of pace in the race. I think this horse is probably in the best form it's ever been in. Whereas a lot of the other horses, don't get wrong, they are a lot classier than this horse. But this horse is a handicap or a staying handicap chaser that is massively on the improve, has course form both in and out. Also, it stayed much further than this. So there are very, very few question marks about this horse, apart from, is it good enough? Well, we're going to find out today. It's going to be up near the pace. I've seen very few horses win the Welsh National quite so easily as that. It had won it from a very long way out, and I think it's at the top of its form, and it's got a great chance. However, even though it's running its best it's ever ran, it's still got to improve again to, in my opinion, to probably get in the places, which I think it can do. The next selection is Billaway at 13-2 in the 10-4 at Cheltenham, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse is one of the safer bets. However, it is getting on a bit, but then again, most of them are. This horse runs in this race basically every year. Obviously, you know it stays a distance. It had a hard run last time behind the favourite. I think it was beaten like a head or something like that by the favourite last time at Nice. This horse it uses that run every year at the same course and distance and track every year to get fit for this race. It's only had one out in this time round to get fit for this race, and I think because it's getting older, it may only want one run. It may not want about half a dozen to get fit. So I think it's got a decent chance, and if it doesn't fall, pull up, or unseat rider, I would expect it to be right up there. 32, I think it's a reasonable price. And the final selection is a very controversial selection. I've gone for No Ordinary Joe at 10-1 in the 5:30 at Cheltenham in the Martin Pipe Hurdle, paying 6 places instead of 4. I found this Nicky Henderson thing very fishy, massively. I've actually thought to myself, and I don't know, I've not really looked into it, but some of them are, well, the ones that haven't ran that well. But is it also a bit of a scam where, and I don't know, you're going to have to mention this in the comments, where people have backed the short price favourites anti-post and they've not been declared, so therefore they may lose the money. I'm looking more at that angle, as in like, maybe it's been one of the biggest scams ever. But I'm not alleging anything. I'm just thinking out loud. Bit controversial in my opinion. But he's got a runner today, Nicky Henderson has. I'm not saying anybody's connected in the scam, but I was thinking like, could it have been the fact that the anti-post money has all been lost and it's been like overlooked purely down to put into a virus? So No Ordinary Joe, I tipped this last time and it came round the bend just behind the leaders. Only a small race. I think it was at Sandown in soft ground. It travelled well, but they allowed it to other horses to get first run on it. It was shuffled back, and I'm thinking I can still see the better in on this is JP McManus as well. I can still see Nicky Henderson getting a winner. It's very rare that you'll go to a Cheltenham festival without Nicky Henderson having a winner. He's had very few runners, and I can just see another talking point coming out of Cheltenham. And so No Ordinary Joe in the last race at 10-1. So there will be selections for Saturday. You'll get the horse racing and football bets. I do believe it's the Midlands Grand National tomorrow on Saturday at Uttoxeter. So that's always an interesting race. Normally you'll get something that comes from Ireland that may have ran in a Cheltenham festival sometimes. So the very best of luck. It's about time we had some returns or a profit for stock, even money back. I'd probably settle for that, to be fair. So the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.